blow the trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm. Malachi was not written for the Jewish people to return. So many times, I've preached it years and years ago, I've heard preachers preach it, that Malachi, God was speaking to the Jewish people, return to God. They didn't return, and approximately 500 years, God never spoke to the Jewish people again. That's false teaching.
Yeah.
When God said, return to me, and I'm going to show you how we return, it's in the offerings of old. They did return.
Right.
Because on Passover they were there. On Pentecost, Shavuot, they were there. On Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacle, there. And I'll get in this next week. But this Malachi is an end-time prophecy for you and I to return. Malachi says to the offerings of old. Now listen to this. In Leviticus chapter 23, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, the feast of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feasts.
Right.
And then he goes on to say, 3 times a year we come before the Lord. These are the feasts of the Lord. 3 times a year we come before the Lord, and we do not come empty-handed. These are not just Jewish feasts. These are not just Old Testament feasts.
So important.
These are feasts of the Lord.
What were you
going to say?
Of the Lord. Well, you know, and I love to tell people, Larry, that God's not trying to get something from us. He's trying to get things to us.
Absolutely.
But he's set up this system that works. And people say, well, isn't that Old Testament? You know, even in Mark 4, it talks about the parables that Jesus spoke. And Jesus himself said, if you understand sowing and reaping, the laws of the universe, you understand every single truth that God has. So we understand that in the natural realm, sowing and reaping. It's, you know, every farmer knows you sow at a certain time, you harvest at a different time. And God says it's the same way spiritually and with his promises. There's an appointed time that he set up for us.
Say what you said when we were getting ready to come out, that it's not just any time that we sow.
Right.
It's for the real harvest, it's that appointed time.
Yeah.